You people are still here? You're still on this video? My gosh, you guys must be a sucker for torment. Either that, you guys are as fan of watching me suffer as you are of watching Spoonie suffer. Anyway, episode 3, Waking Nightmares. Professor Brain had been harder to work than ever, trying to analyze everything that had happened. Wow, you mean they actually let Brain actually do his work? You know, I see Brain every once in a while. He seems kind of evil, but I bet with the proper writing, I could probably make him into a tormented soul who gets annoyed by the fact that it seems like all of his experiments and his props and his machines seem to be ignored by Grand Poobah. The Grand Ruler and the Queen were with him, and so was Goldwyn. Why was he there? Why wasn't I there? All of them still trying to grasp onto everything. Grand Ruler was especially amazed by the Mega Mode powers Lightning had unlocked in the last battle. You mean was told how to unlock? He was given the instruction manual. They all continued to watch images from the previous battle, and watch Lightning from a fight with all of his new powers. Where are you guys getting footage from this? Do you just have cameras from all over the world? Oh, wait, you got that memory thing that Grand Ruler has set up that allows the memories to be played out on the screen. Okay, here's my question. How are they there for the stuff they weren't there for? How do they know that? In all my travels across the cosmos, I've never seen anything like this, Grand Ruler said. Yet, it's all Starfleet technology empowered. That's all we could tell so far. How can you tell that just from watching the screen? Well, you know, it's copyrighted. Somebody just stole your outfits and does copy it. Hell, I bet if Twilight were alive, she could probably copy that stuff without any problem. And what about those voices? Celestia asked. Do we know whom they belong to? Maybe you'll tell us who gave us these powers and why. Well, these voices keep telling me to burn things, so I'm guessing... No, Lightning, the other voices. You mean the voices that tell me to kill everything? No, the other voices. You mean the voices that tell me to go back home and find out the truth about what's going on? No, the other voices. You mean the voices that tell me that I should go back to the zoo and free all the monkeys? You have a strange group of voices. Yeah, Oh, there's another set. I have run the recording through the systems many times, Your Majesty, said Brain. And, well, I don't understand myself, but out with it, Professor, snapped Grand Ruler. Rude! There is no match. No match, asked Goldwyn. Are you sure your readings are correct? Again, Goldwyn, why are you even there? You do not need to be in this scene. You do not need to be here. This is proper military personnel. Do you have a certification for all this? Do you have knowledge of all this? Then no, get out! Unless you want to talk about those freaking shooting stars, which you seem to be ignoring. I am most positive, replied Brain. Scans of records have matched up the voices we've nearly heard with every single creature that can speak on that planet, or even those in alliance with Starfleet, but none match. You have records of every voice? Why is it that every time I see a new episode of Starfleet, I get more and more scared about what they can do? Grand Ruler sighed irritably. No matters. No explanation. Insufficient data. What do we have to do to get some answers? Quit. Let Celestia rule. Run home to Mommy. He said in frustration. The others gazed down and blinked their eyes. He apologized. You don't have to apologize for acting human, you know. Just didn't know how much more of this he could take. Celestia walked up to him and placed her hand warmly on his shoulder. Sorry. Still get a little unnerved seeing my beloved princess chasing that monster. Don't worry, dear. We're sure to have answers soon. They always turn up. Mostly in the form of Deus Ex Machina, or just a chance, or just for random scenarios. Her husband smiled and sighed lovingly at her. Just then, there was a knock on the lab doors. It's your singing telegram. I hope we find you well. Na 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 na. I get to see you deliver a report. Oh, that's right. She exists. I keep forgetting she does. Swear, I feel like she's only there just for a paycheck, as often as she's useful. Your Majesties, I regret to say our whole fleet has surrounded this planet several hundreds of times, but we can't find a single clue that will reveal the enemy's base. Wait. The director's commentary on these episodes has said that they don't have starships, that they don't have spaceships, that spaceships are hard to fly around. Where do these fleets come from? Do they have airships? I know our world has airships, but that's because this is real life and this is the show. Where did these sudden fleets of starships come from? Are we just talking airships? In which case, most of the Unicorpians can fly. Why are there airships? Or are we just saying fleets as small versions of teams that just circle the planet? In which case, those aren't fleets, those are teams. So, which is it? Do you have starships? Do we have airships? Because, again, according to your director's commentary for this series, you said airships don't really make sense for all the ponies that can fly. You don't have starships because there's supposed to be this dimensional barrier around the planet that makes it hard for you to travel through space. Even though that makes no sense. So what fleets are you talking about? Because if you were talking about normal people, then you should be talking about teams. I wish somebody would give these writers a freaking dictionary. At this point, even Celestia was starting to lose her patience with all the dead ends. But her husband repeated the same thing she had said to him. We'll find the answers. We always do. That's right, Celestia. You listen to the man. You listen to the big guy. I mean, why should you give sage wise advice? That's why he smiled suddenly. Send word to all Starfleet outlets on our planets. Outlet balls! Yay! Grand Ruler said to Shayna, it's time we expanded the search. You should have done that 5 days ago. The enemy's base couldn't be found on United Equestria. It was possible they were coming from someplace else. No duh, Grand Monkey Breath! We'll find them, even if we have to search every inch of the galaxy. I don't know if you realize what size you're talking about here. The universe, in general, is big. Really big. Oh, sure, you might think it's just a short walk to the edge of the store, but the universe is big. Gee, that could take a while, said Goldwyn. Professor Brain and Celestia not in agreement. Thank you for your wise sage advice, Goldwyn. I'm so glad you're part of the team. Even with all these miseries and the recent attacks, life continued for all. I really wish there was a comma there. Everyone still went to work, bills and taxes were paid normally. You know, despite the threat that there were things happening and nobody was taking advantage of this, and nobody was scared, and nobody was really going to take advantage of the recent wars, and nobody was going to take advantage of everything. Amazingly, everything was still going normally. I say bullshit. And many more had to help keep spirits alive. Besides, it wasn't like people could spend all days cowering in fear or hardly leave their homes. That would be pretty boring, and that would make sense. Because, you know, it's a war, you know, systems are failing, bad guys know how to handle Starfleet. You know, there should be people who are actually scared, but Nope, you people keep on trucking! At the end of the day, Grand Ruler Queen Celestia. I thought Grand Ruler was Grand Ruler. Or did you forget another comma? What's your problem with the little comma? It just wants to make your sentences more palatable. I know when I was younger I messed up on the comma a lot. But that was because I was an idiot when I was younger. Lower the sun, and Princess Luna was soon raised to the moon to start the night. She exists! That time would occur shortly. For now, it was early evening, and still a little bit of daylight. Ponies were going about and doing their business, even at the Cakes Bakery and Cafe. It's just a bakery! I don't know how it suddenly became a cafe, but it's just a bakery! Okay, granted, I have read a few novels based off of the main six's lives that have occasionally turned the Cakes Bakery into a cafe for some odd reason. They occasionally do that, but here in real life, last I checked, and I visit the Cakes Bakery a lot, I was their 1 millionth customer. I got a free cupcake from Pinkie Pie. That was the best experience of my life. It's just a bakery. Though, I have heard Mr. and Mrs. Cake actually talking about adding a cafe to compete with Rhyme, and they were even thinking of adding a hot cocoa slash coffee maker to the mix. Pinkie Pie's really excited to do that, though I'm kind of nervous about letting Pinkie Pie near anything that's caffeine related. But she told me she would be fine. Pinkie Pie was not present, as she was still doing her patrol rounds with Starfleet, part of her Starfleet duties. What? Pinkie Pie is missing out on her job to do these Starfleet duties? Pinkie Pie is missing out on doing her job, the job that earns her money to live, to do this little Starfleet thing. She loved her career, and now she's ditching it to work on this Starfleet crap? My god, Starfleet had better be paying out to wazoo. Then again, I've actually seen some of Starfleet's places, and apparently if you work for Grand Ruler, you get paid a nifty penny. If I only didn't want to sacrifice my job, my career, and everything else to work for him, I would actually do it. But her bosses were more than understanding and managed to work the place themselves, though they missed her, wished they could spend more time with her, and wanted her to be a part of their family. Pound and Pumpkin were a year old now. What? Okay, let's do the math again. Alright, so Pound and Pumpkin were born about 2 years into Twilight's stay here in Ponyville. About a year or so before Twilight ascended into Alicornness. Then we moved on from there to Alicornhood, so that was a year after they were born. And then Starfleet had been around a year before the two Abominations were born. So technically they should be 3 years old by now, according to the timeline that this show sets up. Unless, of course, we are ignoring the Crystal Empire, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense considering season 3. And we're ignoring the fact that the events of the events of our lives took place over a course of about a year or 2. And 3, they should be a little more over than a year now, considering the fact that you said that Starfleet has been around for 5 years by the time season 6 takes place. This means that they should at least be 2 years now, or 3 years by the time this story takes place. Get your timeline straight. I can't believe this. I haven't watched the show at all, and even I know better than to create a good timeline. People who read my stories say differently, though. But and standing on their own feet, and even talking a little. But they were still very little and wore diapers. Yeah, they're apparently, they have no idea. Being confused as if they were 2 or 3 really messes around with them. And they were still changed around the clock. Mrs. King changed the diapers and tickled the kids' little tummy. "Oh, what a happy little ponies," she cooed. Then proceeded to throw out the dirty diapers, only to notice the garbage was overflowing with a pile of stinking diapers. You know, when you're a year old, that doesn't happen as often. Does Does the Ryer even know how babies work? Was the Ryer even near babies? I had to take care of my little baby brother, you know. She covered her nose at the awful smell. "Oh, I got it." And he came down and scooped out the garbage bag, tying it up and draping it over his shoulders. I had to ask if Celestia and Grand Ruler are suffering the same thing, but considering the fact that, according to him, Grand Ruler's descended from the gods, and those kids are the son of God, I can only imagine that their poop don't stink. Keenan scooped out the garbage bag, tying it up and draping it over his shoulders. "Thank you so much, honey buns," said Mrs. Cake. "I'm surprised this Vic Asley got a little bit of their personality straight. I do have a feeling that's about to be thrown out the window." Her husband smiled and replied, "Anything for my 3 special ones." Then he proceeded out back and lowered the bag onto the dumpster, unaware that someone was watching him from the shadows around the corner. Blink, blink, blink. Oops. "Well, that's that," Mr. Cake said. As he turned to head back inside, he felt someone grabbed him and pulling him away back to the darkness. Well, I didn't know we had the rape alarm installed here. Very impressive. Mrs. Cake poked her head through the door. "Honey," she looked over the place. "Sugar pup." There was no sign of her husband anywhere, except for the faint trail of ripped clothing, torn shorts, and that painful howl. 1 hour later, it was finally growing dark as the massive seats made the sun go down. Pew! But Lightning, Starla, and Krista were at the cafe, investigating a report that Carrot Cake was missing. "Don't you guys want to leave this for the police, for the soldiers, for, somebody who isn't in Starfleet? I'm pretty positive you guys don't have to be there for everything." Also, shouldn't Pinkie Pie be doing this, since this is her home, her family? No response, huh? I thought as much. Poor Cupcake was in tears as he tried to explain the story. Let me guess. "We fixed it in post!" I thought as much. "Well, to the back?" Lightning asked again. Mrs. King nodded. She blew her nose and saw. "I went out there. I called him and I looked around, and he wasn't anywhere." She began to blubber deeply. Wow. All the trauma and the sadness of this scene completely sucked dry by the use of that one word. That one word just took out all the drama. Thank you. The friends hated seeing her just sit distraught, and Chris escorted her back inside. At the same time, Pinkie Pie crashed down, laterally. Laterally? She came crashing down flat side, like a stomach? Firmly up high. "No! Pinkie!" shouted Lightning. Pinkie soon passed him. Starlight barely missed him. Crashing to the ground, she lay there flat on the ground, with her tongue hanging out, and stars going over her head. She could have been hurt. Ears ran over to help her up. "Pinkie, are you all right?" cried Starla. Guys, if they really want me to believe this whole entire, this is meant for a more older audience, and this is meant to be more realistic, then ditch it with the cartoon sound effects. Ditch the whole entire cartoon scenes and actually show some real injuries. Otherwise, this is getting too cartoony for your supposed age group. Pinkie felt dizzy and sore as she got up. "Oh, my knee hurts. Guess I still have to work on those fast landings." "That's an understatement," Lightning muttered. He told her what was going on, and Pinkie could hardly believe it. Why did he just disappear? He's like a second father to me. She almost felt like blubbering herself. What if he didn't disappear? What if he just ran away? What if he doesn't care about me? Or Mrs. Kink? Or Pound? Or Pumpkin? Or... Captain Pinky! Lightning shouted. Get a hold of yourself! Fuck you, Lightning! Fuck you. That girl's family is in trouble. Her father figure is in trouble. Her father could be dead, murdered, or anything. And your response, rather than being, it's going to be alright, Pinky, it's going to be okay, is get a hold of yourself. I'll have to ask you, Lightning. Would you be able to get a hold of yourself if it was Starla kidnapped? If it was one of your friends kidnapped and in trouble? No, wait. Of course you would. Because you're perfect. You're perfect little Lightning Dawn. You can't risk losing your emotions. Oh, no. You can't risk being seen as equine. No. You have to keep it all bottled up inside. Well, guess what? Real equestrians, real equines, yeah, they're not just going to get a hold of themselves when their family's in trouble. They have these things called emotions, and they let it out. Pinkie Pie, I'm right now more sympathetic towards her than to you. Little mister, my only problem is my super mode might go out of control. Boo-hoo! Ah, blow it out your ear. And learn to deal with real life once in a while. If you could. Make Lightning deal with reality and real human emotions. Pinky drew a breath and let out slowly. At the moment, Krista came out. Poor dear's absolutely hysterical. Gee, I wonder if it was because the love of her life's gone. You know, Krista, you're this close to me saying F you and me thinking of doing horrible things to your character. The others all sighed in pity for Mrs. Cake, and Starla was starting to have a creepy feeling about this. This is getting really creepy. You okay, dear? Lightning asked. His wife looked up and said, I have this rare feeling that there's more going on here. Remember how every time a new enemy sees the surface, there always seems to be a secondary enemy out there, somewhere, all supplying against us? Oh my god, the formula on this show is becoming so exact that even Starla's following it. You know, just because you reference your formula doesn't mean you're actually doing anything about it. So you had a point. The others also had this fear. We were hoping this time things would be different. This is some criminal plot from maybe a small ransom. Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Cake. It's not like there's some sort of super evil in the background. It's just a criminal that wants to hold your husband for ransom. Oh! But then Buddy Rose and Spike came along. They looked like they were in a panic. Have you guys seen Applejack or Rarity? Buddy Rose asked. They were supposed to pick up the Q-Mark Crusaders, but they left and never came back. Added Spike. I'm pretty positive this was Buddy Rose's line. We'll fix it in post! Dash also picks up Scootaloo. I've seen it. Scootaloo's dad is in the Royal Guard, and her mom works a lot in the hospital. So, Dash usually has to pick her up and bring Scootaloo back to her aunts. Trust me, I should know. I'm actually good friends with her aunts. I've actually seen her aunts get together. They're a really cute couple. You forgot Scootaloo? You know, she's important too. And, Buddy, why aren't you picking up your daughter? Okay, what? Snapped Lightning. Lightning, no need to snap, dude. Calm down. Relax. Get over it. Just then, the girls came out to the Asgay cafe, escorted by an orange surf pony. A Scottish mare wearing a plaid skirt and a fancy cam on her head. Mrs. Argyle? Said Lightning. Hey, Commander. You got the tail and a half. DD. Bunny! Cried Daphne as he ran to her big cousins. Buddy Rose was glad that he was safe. "Where have you been?" asked Buddy. Considering the fact that there's a kidnapper present, I think Buddy Rose should be a little more saddened and heartbroken and scared that Daphne could have been hurt, taken, or kidnapped. And where did Daphne come into the scene? She just popped up randomly in this moment. I mean, here's the scene. "Hi, Commander. You just got to take her and a half." It even says, escorted by an orange earth pony. Oh, and it even says the girls. Which girls, actually? Now that I think about it. It says, just then, the girls came up to the cafe, escorted by an orange earth pony. Which girls? The other members of the team? The flower trio? Lyra and Bon Bon? By leaving out who the girls are, I have no idea what you're talking about. The Lost Ponyville is filled with girls. It's filled with mares. I can't get a date with any of those mares, but it's filled with mares. For all I know, Vinyl and Octavia could afford a band with Lyra, and they could be coming over up the street. Actually, form a band with Lyra, Bon Bon, Melody, and Blues forming a band together would actually be kind of cool. And who's this Miss Argyle? Why not Charlie? Why not use Charlie to be in there? Wouldn't it make more sense for her to be there? And again, why not also say that Daphne Dill was also there, so that way she could show up? And again, I repeat, with the presence of a kidnapper, you would think that Buddy Rose would actually be, a little more frightened. He would be hugging her tighter. But all I see is she ran into her big cousin's blank. Arms, legs, what here? Here, let me help with the scene again. "Buddy!" cried Daphne as she ran into her big cousin's arms. But Buddy Rose could barely hold back the tears as he knelt down to his daughter, hugging her close. He was always scared every time he wasn't there, every time he heard that there was a monster attack. He knew that anyone would want to kidnap his little girl, his little cousin, and use her as a weapon against him. And he would just fall to pieces if he ever lost her. The most precious flower in his garden, his little Daphne. "How was Jack and Mary never came to get us?" Daphne answered. Why not just call her Daphne for short rather than DD? I see the word letters DD and all I can think of is, how nasty. So unsanitary. So unsanitary. "Hey, she's a light tomato," said Miss Argyle. "Who likes the gargle pipes?" "What? Oh yeah, she must be related to Mr. Argyle. Argyle the gargoyle, who likes to gargle the gargle pipes." "Aye. We can't celebrity in Applejack failed to pick up the legal house from school. I saw them still sitting out on the cold steps. It's also be brutal to the rest of myself with the abductions and all. I repeat, why not use Charlie for this scene? Wouldn't it make more sense for her to be shown up? Unless, of course, he's busy with Big Mac. "Abductions?" asked Lightning. "Well, Lightning, you're doing a real good job on your patrols there." "Hey, Commander, in case it's new to you, word on the street is that ponies have been vanishing out of the trace without explanations. Maybe if you guys spent more time in Ponyville than Caroline, you would know this." Sleebell and Apple Bloom were very worried about their sisters. "Why, I could tell you," Apple Bloom sniffed. "I hope not," added Slee. "Mary's a good fighter and all, but sometimes it feels like she can't always get out of everything. Ever since Twilight died, Sleebell, mind adding a few periods there? This run-on seems to be going on for way too long, and I think it just ran out the room." Very nice! And it's Southern, apparently. This sentence is also apparently Southern. "Don't think that," says Skulu. "A third is an answer to this. We're going to find out what it's all about." "Oh, it's easy for you to say, Skulu. Your sister's fine." Speaking of which, why did Rainbow Dash help Skulu? Why isn't Rainbow Dash in this scene, too? And geez, Leabelle's actually complimenting her sister. It's nice to know somebody appreciates Rarity's expertise in marksmanship and swordsmanship. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I forgot. This show loves to dismiss Lady Rarity. In spite of the fact that I've seen her use archery before, and she is dang good. And everything shouldn't be tough situations. No, we're going to find out. Lightning said, "You girls are going to go straight home. Take them along, Buddy Rose." "Right," said Buddy.
Can we help out?
"No, and that's final. This is too dangerous for you," said Buddy, giving her one last hug. Every time he did this, he was always afraid that this would be his last mission, his last chance to ever see her again, ever hear her voice. He knew she would be safe. There was also times that he was scared that this would be that she would fall into the same rules as he did. He didn't want her to become Starfleet. He wanted her to be free. "I'll go with you," Spike said. "I left Opal home alone. I don't think Rarity would forgive me." "Oh, Opal will be fine. That little maniac is a killer." "You know that little cat actually came into my bookstore once? It took me hours and Fluttershy to get her out. I still have a scar on my left flank. Ow! It's kind of painful." They all went off together, skipping along. "We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz." Lightning clenched his fist, and his head hung a little low.
"Are you okay, Lightning?"
asked Krista. Lightning went softly. "Oh, sorry. I just fell a little down for a moment." "Oh, see, it could be that your teammates are in trouble and you're acting human for the first time in this whole stinking story." The others knew it was because Sweetbell mentioned Twilight's death. "Oh, of course! It's just because Twilight died. Not that everybody could be in trouble, that there is this Eliza little mistakes out there, and, that there are people in danger." It was really brought into me memories of him seeing it right before his eyes, and how she died in his arms. "Tonight, was it something you said?"
"Lightning, try to let it get to you,"
Pinky said. "Nice one, Pinky! That's right, Lightning. Let it get to you. Actually show some human emotions. Actually allow yourself to cry and be tearful." But you know my biggest problem with this line here? Pinky would not be the one to say, "Don't let it get to you." Pinky would not be the one to try to tell Lightning to not let the loss of somebody important like Twilight get to him. As close as Pinky was to Twilight, the moment Sweetbell said anything about Twilight's death, Pinky should be suffering from PTSD, go almost catatonic, and just walk away slowly. Considering the fact that it's only been 5 months since Twilight's death, Pinky should be in total shock every time Twilight is even mentioned. But then again, I've been around Pinky, and I've actually said Twilight's name once accidentally when she was in my store. Poor girl. She went almost catatonic. I could see the tears rolling down her cheeks as she just bought the book and said thank you and just left my store. Poor dear. I feel bad every time I see her. I'm really scared for her, guys. I really am. "I won't, because that is beneath me. It's just I really wish you were here right now. So do I. Long live Twilight. We could really use their help. I don't know how much more of these memories we could take. I just couldn't bear if someone else got hurt." Miss Argyle sighed. "You got it real hot, Commander. Always thinking of and out for others." Lightning nodded bravely. "Oh yes, it's so brave to deny your own emotions." Spuddy rose and Spike escorted the girls home. The girls were looking a bit down, wondering if Applejack and Rarity were okay. "Don't worry, girls. I'm sure they're fine," said Buddy Rose.
"How do you know for sure?"
"I don't. I believe in them. Just like they believe in all of us. And that's what keeps a lot of us going in the fort." The Force. You said the Force, and now all I can think of is Star Trek. Thank you so freaking much. Dee Dee gazed over her cousin with admiration.
You're gonna be just like you are when I listen to the Force.
Yes, all children want to enlist in the Force. No one else has any other duties. They all want to enlist in the military force. I would love to see some Foles and Billies want to be a gardener, want to have fun, want to enjoy themselves, want to be happy, want to enjoy their lives. Buddy Rose smiled at her, and then frowned. I know you will. As they approached Carousel Boutique, a horrible sight met their eyes. A mare was being attacked by a mysterious figure, a pale gray earth pony. Okay, either Limey has gone crazy or that's Maud. He wore a black suit with a red cape and a high collar, and a black top hat on top of his head, and an evil-looking mask across his eyes. And once again, I have to laugh at this image. I mean, good golly. This is probably one of the more uncreative images I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, the animator, whoever works on this show could have found a better costume for this guy. The top hat and high collar makes it look like he's some sort of vampire knockoff. Like he's out of those lame Twilight novels that my cousin used to read all the time. The cape is just ridiculous. The tail is just, ugh. And of course he's gray, because why wouldn't he be? I wonder if I were to remove that mask, I would actually see just a copy of Little Pip from my favorite movie franchise. I was right. It's Little Pip from Fallout Equestria. Quit fussing, he roared. Give me what I want, and I won't hurt you. And suddenly just became more rapey than I imagined. Spike and Buddy Rose causing the girls to stay down and out of their way. They hid behind a set of garbage cans, and the boys danced over. Now, you see, this is far more effective than just, investigating things. There's an actual crime in progress. Now I forgive you. The stranger looked up, but didn't let go of the other pony. A space unicorn and a young dragon, he snarled. I see no use for you. Spike sneered at the stranger. Evil. Put her down, get your hands in the air, then shake it like you just don't care. Hey, ho, hey, ho. His hand cut off when the stranger held him tight by the neck. Nothing. If either of you make a move, I will be forced to take extreme measures and do away with her. Either way, I'll get what I want. This is starting more rapey by the seconds.
Please, help me.
The mayor cried. Silence, shouted the stranger, tightening the grip on his victim. Buddy Rose gazed down at Spike. When he tries to make a run for it, you know what to do. Buddy? Don't you have some sort of pedal dance that you could fire at him? You could fly or do something badass? Like what? Oh, I don't know. Take out your whip, throw it at the mare, pull her away in a split second, and then allow me to attack. Which would actually be cool. Spike, this is Starfleet. You know we don't authorize badass moments like that. If I were to really be heroic, then I would probably have done so. I probably would have a cool one-liner like saying, "Go ahead, I dare you." And then, just when he's about to snap the neck, hit him with a pedal dance to blind him while you saved the mare. It would have been cool, and it would have shown our teamwork. But we didn't. Say, Buddy Rosen gazed back at the stranger. Let your last chance. Let her go and surrender. The stranger snickered softly. If I have no other choice. His hands began glowing. The friends all gasped and shocked, and watched as the glow seemed to consume the mare. A bright flash, she was knocked unconscious. Kill! The stranger began to run for it. After him! Shouted Buddy Rose. He and Spike began to give chase, taking a small second to warn the Crusaders to get inside the shop and stay there.
Oh, sure. Right, the stuff that was so obviously broken into. I'm so positive that that's safe.
As soon as the boys were out of sight, the girls came out from behind the garbage cans.
Did you see all that?
Cried Sweet Belle. The girls nodded. They decided to bring the mare into the shop with them. You know, instead of the hospital or call the police or the paramedics or something intelligent. That's what they saw, but they moved closer to help out. They couldn't help but notice the side of her flank peeking through her skirt.
Pervs!
What they saw turned the girls' blood cold. It's impossible! Rescued Lou.
No, I'm lying.
Cried Apple Bloom. What? What? What is it? Buddy Rose and Spike chased the stranger down the streets. Buddy Rose fired 2 magical flares from his horn into the sky, warning nearby officers to the chase. You have a whip. You have wings. Soon a swarm of ponies, some of them were normal night equestrians, while others were space alicorns, joined into the chase and cornered the stranger in a dark, dead-end alley. Wings, buddy. You have wings. Fly. Fly towards him. He shouldn't be able to outpace you if you fly ahead. Use your freaking wings. No, not just wings. A whip. You have a whip. I don't know if you thought about this, but you have a whip, which is a long rope. A rope can be used to wrap around a person. Said rope could be used to pull somebody. You said whip to stop the criminal. How is it that incompetent people like you are the only thing that protects us from certain death? End of the line for you, snarled Buddy Rose. You're coming with us. The stranger grinned wickedly as he glared at all the ponies that had cutie marks. You did what I just wanted you to, he hissed. The phantom of magic always gets what he wants. Always. The Phantom of the Opera! Spike gazed up at Buddy Rose and said, This guy's really starting to bother me. Rope. Whip. Fire breath. Buddy Rose agreed and ordered the officers to charge, and all the ponies dashed forward. It was then discovered that the Phantom was a skilled fighter, whose strength and skills were on par with every other officer. He swerved and faded every move, and punched and kicked them hard. I wish I could have seen that. But then again, once again, it's time to insult our personal officers, so to make sure that we can note that the bad guy is all that and a bag of chips. Soon all the other officers were down on account. And you two didn't join in because... leaving only Buddy Rose and Spike standing. As they dashed forward to rush him, Phantom glared at him nastily. His eyes glowed behind his mask. And Spike and Buddy froze on the spot. That's cheating and you know it, Vic! What's happening? Cried Buddy. I can't seem to move an inch! Sighed Spike. The Phantom laughed and hissed. Oh, so he's part snake then. Amazing, isn't it? And us ponies that can do magic more powerful ponies. Hey! My best friend is an Earth pony, and he is way stronger than me. He's beaten me at Earth wrestling, he's beaten me at wrestling, he's beaten me at running, he's beaten me at a lot of physical strengths, he's beaten me at a lot of physical attributes. But, he can't fly. I own him on that. I digress, though. We all live in a balance, buddy. We all live in a united form. What the Earth ponies can't do, Pegasi can. And what Pegasi can't do, unicorns can't. This also goes down to our physical attributes. Earth ponies are stronger, physically and more durably. They can take a hit a lot better than a unicorn or a Pegasi. I can withstand cold. I can fly thousands of feet in the air, and I could go to the Mount Everest. It wouldn't feel a thing. Unicorns may be fragile when it comes to physical and body, but their magic is far more than backs up for it. We live in perfect harmony. Each one of us can back up each other's weaknesses. We unicorns and Pegasi aren't stronger. We just have a different skill set. Personally, I like being able to fly. He approached them all, still snickering. I love to stay, but I have a full schedule to attend to. So, I'll warn you once. Stay out of my business, because next time I won't be as merciful. He then gazed at the officers laying on the ground, the one with cutie marks, and sat there on a bright flash of light. Bloop! And when he was gone, Spike and Buddy Rose could move again. He's gone! Cried Buddy. Where did he go? Added Spike. Lightning and the others saw Buddy Rose's flare and were nearing the area where they were. Again! Hasn't this show frequently said, and haven't you guys said, that Starfleet are supposed to be super fast and super strong, that the best of you can move at faster than the speed of light? Twice the speed of light, actually? Then why did it take you guys so long to get to Buddy Rose's flare? If you guys are so damn fast, then it should have been flare. We're here to help. The only ones who shouldn't be doing that are the equestrians that you insult. Right now, I'm not seeing so much of the superpowers. All I'm seeing is normal ponies trying to do their job. That is it. I'm not seeing super strength or super speed. I'm just seeing random group. When suddenly Pinky got a glimpse of something in the street. Hey! She cried as he flew down to investigate. Pinky! Lightning hollered. Stop trying to do your job! He, Starla, and Krista. He, Starla. Me, Jane. To catch up with her, and they could see what Pinky saw. It was Mr. Cake lying flat on the ground with several other ponies, and Rarity and Applejack. Hey, they're ponies too! And they were starting to come around. Oh, what happened? Groaned Applejack. Rarity felt like it was a meteor that hit her head. All I remember is going to pick up Sweetie Belle and... Sweetie Belle! Lightning calmed her down. Yes, you should calm down after worrying about your sister. You know, your family, something that's very important to your heart. Tell the girls who were all came back to her place. What happened? You were going to pick her up, then... Rarity thought hard, but all she remembered seeing a brass flash of light that struck her, and everything went black. I don't know. Rarity, check your kidneys! Ashley, every one of you, check your kidneys! Applejack had the same predicament. I don't know what's wrong. I feel weaker than an old racehorse with a busted leg. Hey, I know some pretty badass racehorses with busted legs. I've actually done interviews with them, and some of them are pretty good guys. And some of them are far stronger than you. Rarity tried to use her magic to help her stand up easier. What? Use her magic to stand up easier. Magic doesn't work like that. Magic doesn't use to make ponies stand up easier. You got heal spells, but not spells that would cause you to stand up easier like a freaking mannequin. But nothing happened. Her horn didn't glow. No magic was cast. What's happening? She cried. She tried all her might, but she couldn't even levitate a small leaf that was on the ground. Oh no. If this happens, Rarity could go out of business. Some of the other ponies were also unicorns. Now they couldn't use magic either. Rarity wondered and looked down at her pants. She gasped and screamed, No! No! It's not true! What's wrong? Cried Starla, but she could suddenly see Rarity's flank as it was still exposed. Hey now! Hey, I would forgive this show instantaneously if, you could kindly show Applejack's flank, pretty please? Okay, I know she will never go for me, but I still have a crush on her, you know. I see her walk by my store a couple of times, and I kind of blush a little. She is cute, you know. Everyone gasped. Ew! Cried Pinky. Your kitty mic! It's gone! Oh, and whoever... Oh, don't tell me that the myths are true. The T-Rex has finally come up from Tartarus to kill us all! Oh god, the legends were true. This might be my last episode, guys! The T-Rex has come out to play. I think we're all dead. Oh god. Everybody, run for the hills, man. Run for the hills.
Lord T-Rex the Destroyer has arisen once again. We're all dead. You're next. You're next. Wait a minute. Lord T-Rex is supposed to be described as a killer centaur that would cause your heart to blood to freeze and your heart to stop just by looking into his eyes. Not an Earth pony. Phew, I'm glad. Earth ponies take their flanks, and all their key marks were missing. Even Applejack and Mr. Cake were blank flanks. Great grumbling Cracker Barrels! Oh, don't mess with Cracker Barrel. The food's decent, but every store looks exactly the same. I don't believe this, added Mr. Cake. All the other ponies began to cry in panic and look in shock and horror. Bunny felt his head throbbing with pain with all the yelling. Yeah, I would kind of be looking down in shock and horror if I lost my soul. Okay, baby, you're still there. Good. Phew. Quiet! He shouted. Everyone froze on the spot. Enlightening urged them all not to panic. They just lost their souls, you freaking jackass! How would you like it if I took something important to you? How would you like it if I took that golden horn away? Or took something special from you? Huh? Our cutie marks represent something of who we are. They're our souls. They're our most purest element of who we are. They represent everything about us. They represent our talents, our skills, our special abilities. They are a part of us. We lose that. It's like losing our legs or losing our hearts. We lose that special part of us if we lose our cutie marks. We lose our souls. Hell, we lose the will to fly. I would hate to think of some sort of mad pony who could actually steal all cutie marks just because she lost her best friend and she wanted revenge against the world. That would kind of be scary, especially if she learned a spell like that. Somewhere 1,000 miles away, Starlight laughs. We'll find out what happened to you all. Please, no more screaming. Stop acting like your soul died or something. Look at this, said Krista, holding up a small note she found on the ground. Eris looked at her and read, I have gathered what I need from these ponies. You have them back. It really doesn't matter anyway, for you'll all be doomed soon. Effective with magic. Eris and Sage looked at us concerned with another. I knew it, Starla said. There's someone else out there now. Wow. Again, you just gotta love how someone's playing all the cliches. Makes my job easier. Bunny pocketed the lair. We gotta get to their majesties. They have to know about this. Suddenly, there was a shine of light coming from above, and everyone could see their royal majesties, Grand Ruler Celesta and Queen Celesta, along with Princess Luna. She exists? With them were Bunny, Rose, and Spike. How did you guys get news about this so fast? Actually, why are you guys here? Why did you come in? Why did you show up? You have no point here. You don't really need to show up. This is something for us mortals to work on. You don't really need to pop up every time there's a plot element. Actually, you guys do show up whenever there's a plot point. I've only watched about 3 episodes, and you guys have had 2 episodes of screen time. Most of it's been devoted to you. Can we spend 1 episode without you guys? You know, some time with the characters so they get developed. We don't need a god's hand to touch us every time. We're fine. We are free. We are equines. We have freedom. We have free will. We don't need a god every single time we're in trouble. Or, according to the show's writers, a deity, which is a god. We don't need higher-ups or some sort of special beings to hold us. We don't need some sort of magical hand to guide us every time we're in trouble. We have our own abilities to do what we can. God, I hate it when this show does this. Seems like we can't even wipe our noses without the gods. Write that down. They all landed, and everyone bowed to their majesties. Lightning gazed up. Master, there's trouble. It's all right, Lightning. We already know, said Grand Ruler. Yeah? Asked Pinkie Pie. Celestia nodded. We had just made the sun set, and we were on our way back to New Caroline when we saw the flare from far, far away. You guys set the sun on Camelot! You just go to your little balconies and set the sun there! I said no! I've seen it! It's a pretty sight! It's awesome! Princess Luna cut in. She exists? I was preparing to head out on my nightly patrol duties when I also saw the flare. We all came out and arrived on the scene too late. Buddy and Spike explained how they cornered the Phantom, were unable to contain him. They saw him steal cutie marks and the magic of some of the officers right before their eyes. He, Spike, and the Space Alicorns were spared, but he didn't know why. So the Phantom was only interested in equestrian ponies. Why not the Space Alicorn magic? Why not the draconic magic? Draconic magic is some powerful stuff, you know. Well, one thing is certain now, said Grand Ruler. With this phantom of magic roaming the streets, means no place is even remotely safe. The heirs had the feeling they knew what this meant. A worldwide curfew would be investigated more strictly than ever to ensure all the ponies' safety. Once again, you're not helping when you try to say that this show isn't trying to say that Starfleet is a overpowering, blood-drained evil group. Here's relatively green, and he knew had a new mystery to solve. They knew of this phantom of magic, and they knew he was an Earth pony. But who was he really? And why was he stealing the magic of all the other ponies? More importantly, why didn't he go other by Rose, all the Space Alicorns, or even Spike? His underground lair, the Phantom released the magic and cutie marks he absorbed it into the walls around him, which were laden with small stone tablets and cutie marks that he had stolen from other ponies already. Somewhere, I get this feeling that there's a certain light purple unicorn who's feeling very, very upset about this. The new cutie marks, including rarities and apple tags, appeared on the walls, but many of the tablets were still blank. All of this magic, he hissed to himself, the more that I gather, the closer I get to unlocking the ultimate power. There on the wall was a light silhouette in the shape of what looked like a monstrous centaur. Oh god, it is Tiller T-Rex! Run for your lives! I told you that this would happen! I told you this would happen! There, the Phantom snickers slightly. Listen by my side. There won't be anyone who will stand in my way again. His evil laugh echoed along the walls of his lair. Fall away into the new Crystal Empire. Why are we here? Cadence and Shining Armor had received a letter from their aunts and uncle about the situation. Why are we here? Wrote back acknowledging the message and promising to do their part to watch for the Phantom, as well as to keep an eye out for Dark King and his minions. You know, they really have no point in this fact. They put up a strong force field around the Empire, as well as keep it strengthened thanks to the new Crystal Heart that stood in Internal Square, where the old Crystal Heart stood once before, being destroyed in the previous war. How did you get a brand new one? Did you just decide one day, hey, as long as the old object of mystical power was broken, let's just make a brand new mystical object of mystical power. It's easy. I brought the instruction book. Objects of mystical power are not Legos! For now, it was getting late, with the force field around the Empire. The Phantom wasn't lucky to come there. So, Shining Armor and Cadence decided to head to bed. Good night, Cadence. Sleep tight, my love, his wife replied. They pet each other softly. Kiss. Just say kiss. Before falling asleep in their shared bear. Then, later in the night, Cadence began to twitch and moan in her sleep. Yeah, it's called Shining Armor. He's right over there. The tossing and turning soon followed as he began to have a horrible nightmare. She found herself walking down a long and winding road, the loneliest road I've ever known. What's happening? Where am I? She asked aloud. Suddenly, she found herself in a Canterlot on Equestria of old, long before it was a story the United Equestria came. Back during the good days. She was being prepared for her wedding to Shining Armor. Suddenly, Queen Chrysalis came in, prisoner, allowing the Changeling Empire to storm in and begin their assault. Look closely, princess, said a voice. Look at what you caused. All that happened was your fault, as you're cursed to be bad luck around you. What? Snapped Cadence. I'm not bad luck. Oh, but you are. No. You cause misfortune to everyone, particularly those you love most. She was then shown images of her brother, Fratello. Oh yeah, him. Still gotta ask questions about that guy. He was taken over by the robots for trying to protect his younger sister. Wait a minute. There was a robot invasion of Canterlot? When? Let me check the wiki again. 15 years ago? I was a teenager 15 years ago! I don't remember no robot invasion. If there was a robot invasion, why didn't Princess Twilight, well, it makes you live, be studying it? You are a jinx, a wicked omen, a walking disaster that spreads everything she touches. No! Cried Cadence. Yes, you are, thundered the female voice. You stayed around, you'll bring nothing but more pain, more suffering, and misfortune to all. Cadence began to see the horrible images of all the others. Her friends and family, even her beloved Shining Armor, all suffering miserably, being badly injured or left in a disabled state, all because of the bad luck she brought. Oh no, that was horrible. They're all badly injured and suffering. At least they're not dead! Cadence couldn't bear what she was witnessing. Brought tears to her eyes and held her head in frustration, crying out, No, it's not true! It's not true! Cadence! Cadence! Shining Armor called out as she still was wide awake. We're having a nightmare. Cadence wiped her sweaty brow. I gotta get some air, she said as she popped out of bed and moved by the open window. Do you want to talk about it? Asked Shining Armor. His wife shook her head. No, I'd rather not. Shining Armor felt that Cadence's nightmare had to have been really bad. She had many nightmares before, but none like this. Only she would snap out of it. Out of her fear? Cadence herself wasn't sure it was merely a nightmare, or like a warning. Still, she wasn't willing to let it get to her and be human, was she? And our next episode, the bunnies are still baffled and confused with their new enemy and where they came from. Demon then shows himself again and unleashes a new cardinal. But Lightning's Fusion Force magic doesn't seem to work effectively on it, which leaves the fighters in a tight spot. How will the bunnies stand up to the cardinal this time? And how serious will Cadence's nightmares begin to affect her? Oh, it's the next exciting episode of Starfleet's Magic, Slither in the Dark. Okay, review time. This episode, while it was nice of it to try to set up the other mystery, it's still laden by some of the problems inherent within this series in general. Namely, for one, Starlight herself just pointed out how cliched this is. That it seems like every season there are two plots running opposite of each other and doesn't really work parallel to one another. You have the main plot of whatever villain Josur is currently attacking Equestria. Then you have the subplot of some random as all get out villain that does the side attacks. That he's busy doing what he needs to opposite of the other villain. And rarely does the two plots connect. I feel like the writers were trying to come up with a subplot by adding this type of villain and trying to make it interesting by adding a side villain that pops up every time. But this isn't a side plot. This isn't even a side mission. This feels more like just fluff compared to the main story. It doesn't really feel like it's adding anything. As a matter of fact, it feels like it could have been a story in a season all on its own. But, once again, we encounter a problem inherent with Starfleet. It's something I've been noting throughout all the seasons. Stuffing too much in one go because the author is determined to get everything in at once. Season 1 was the most basic. It actually had something going there. It actually had one character going. Then we had Season 2. This is where the problem started. We have Chrysalis, then we have Fertillo. Season 3 is where the problem really becomes evident. As in, we have the villain Sombra attacking and collecting all the pieces of the Crystal Heart. Then we have Lightning wants to get married to Starla. Then we have evil assassin wanting to kill Celestia. At this point, it feels like it's all 2 months being ran 2 months at one time. And sadly, the show writers do not have enough talent, nor do they allow themselves enough time to put all of that in. 26 episodes is too small for a plot like this. 45 episodes a season, yes. However, the show writers are convinced that you need only 26 episodes to tell this type of story. While this is possible, it's still would require far more talent than the writers have actually shown so far to be able to tell these two running plots together. At most, it would need 45 episodes, so that way we can fully get into to the plot of the bad guy. We would need 45 episodes to be able to express the different types of motivations, to make the villains more three dimensional, and to make the villains seem more lively. As it stands, these bad guys don't really feel like they're connected to anything, and really, I would be surprised if these plots actually matched up, or if suddenly at one point we just finished this whole entire magician story, Phantom of Magic story, and then we basically ignore any of the possible repercussions of the whole entire scenario for the rest of the episode series. And I bet you it can. To further go on, we missed out on some really good character moments here. One of the things that was introduced in season 2 that continues to baffle me as to why it can't really move on is Daphne Dill. Here we have a single father having to raise his little girl in a time of constant war and strife. And rarely do we see this ever affect Buddy. We rarely see him get nervous, fearful for his life, or worried that there's nobody to care for Daphne when he's dead. We rarely see this have any negative effect on him as a character. Furthermore, we rarely get to see these two together and see them as sort of some cousin moments. I would love it to see Buddy being more of a father figure to Daphne. Hmm. I may not be a father figure myself, but who knows? Maybe if I worked hard enough, I could probably find a way to actually show this in the future seasons, Buddy's relationship with Star, with Daphne, and show them bond together because I want them to unite. Show us these moments. Show us Buddy getting worried. Which leads me to the biggest problem that this show has established so far with its series and its characters: the fear of having emotions. It is scared. It is scared to ask if the characters act even one bit emotional or one bit scared, that it will break the idea of this perfect character that they're trying to set up. Oh, Twilight dies? Who is it that says get over it? Pinkie Pie. I already said there's a problem with this. But this again shows how the show fears anybody getting emotional. Because if anything, Pinkie Pie should be blubbering over Twilight's death, and Lightning should be the one telling her to get her over it or not to let it get to her. However, this is also a bad thing for either one of them to say to the other, because you do not just say, "Hey, don't let it get to you" when a person dies, especially with somebody as close as Pinkie was to Twilight. But nope, Lightning's gotta be strong. Everybody loses their souls? Who needs to empathy when you can just tell them to all be quiet because heavens knows you can't show any emotions on this story. It's like the author has it's like the writers of the show have gone into saying, and I have actually seen the reports, that they don't want everybody to be blubbering in tears. What he wants is for his characters to have just be manly and one small tear roll down their cheek. However, this has a very, very bad side effect. It has the side effect of making the characters seem robotic. It shows a deep disconnect between what's going on and the characters. Now, I know that there have been plenty of action films where the manly stallion goes in, is invincible, and only allows one tear to roll down his cheek. But there's a problem with those versus this. Those movies are usually 90 minutes full of action slog, to the point where we don't really care about the character at all. We just care about the explosions. But the most powerful of these action films have always been things where the characters have shown emotions. Like, say, Rambo. Sly Stallone, one of my favorite action actors, has a great moment where he's broken down in tears over the fact that he can't do anything besides being a warrior. Granted, we lose that in 2 and 3, but we get a little bit of that back and forth. It's the same problem here. Lightning shows up, says, "Hey, calm down," and everybody listens while their souls are gone. It just feels like he's trying to tell them to basically say, ignore the fact that you just lost your limb. And that doesn't really help the characterization at all. When you realize that this makes Lightning unsympathetic to everybody else's plight, it makes him seem like a complete asswipe for not caring about how other people feel. And when it comes time for him to start showing emotions, other characters feel like he shouldn't show them, so separating him from his own emotional feelings. Well, that was one more down. Let's continue moving on to the next. Oh, it's just not gonna be fun.